So now that this is completed, we'll go back to our schedule here. Okay, this is now kicking in. Just refresh the screen. And we see we have just one starting, and we see the trigger now is DLT-F1 ingestion. In this case, it's not a manual trigger, does not happen on a cron job, but it's actually starting and running on the back of the other schedule that we just started executed there. We'll see we did a dbt deps command, we'll have a dbt run. And here's where we start embedding additional AI capabilities within the orchestrator as well. The very first thing we can access now is the summary. DinoAI is now embedded within Bolt, what it means that we can use DinoAI to summarize our console logs and make them a lot more user-friendly and human-readable. So we can see he's telling us about what kind of commands were executed, which is a dbt run, and what dbt run is actually doing. So think about when you have teammates on call, which they might be less familiar with some of the technicalities behind dbt and some of the logs there. So they can actually understand a lot better and easier what is happening with this run that is failing. It gives us a bit of more information around what was executed and when. But more importantly, it's provide us with an action plan here about, hey, these are the models that had some issues or errored out. And these are a human readable error of what happened and what you should do to resolve that issue. So it's telling, okay, there's definitely a column which is invalid. What we should do with first thing is to double check then the column is correctly spelled and it does exist into our source data. The second is around stage model, and it says that there is an error with some of the syntax there, check for spacing and the right formatting. And again, it says that for the intermediate model, we have an invalid identifier. It said where there is an alias that is incorrect in one of the from or join clauses. So double check that before move on, so we can easily validate what might be broken inside the dbt model, and it gives us a final summary. Now, the kind of natural next step is we need to access this code, right? We need to go ahead and figure out what the SQL actually looks like, what was being executed. So that's where now we have a super quick access to the code itself. So now within the dbt command itself, you can actually click on this deep link, and this will load for us the actual statement that was executed erroring out as well. So it's going to be super easy to access what SQL was executed, what kind of was faced there. So we can actually copy and paste this code, go back to the Paradime IDE, figuring out how to fix it from there forward, create our code, use DinoAI for it as well, really streamlining that debugging experience from the ground up so that everything you need is supported there. Now, this is actually a pretty classic scenario where something fails and we want to make sure that those incidents are tracked and they're managed properly within the team.